We're starting the show tonight with a topic many of us ignore: cybercrime, and what we can do to combat it. It's costing South Africa countless millions, and the new Cybercrimes and Cybersecurity Bill is aimed at addressing this scourge. Tsholo has more.
South Africa's Cybercrime and Cybersecurity Bill is aimed at fighting online crime by regulating SA's cybersecurity. The bill will give South African courts jurisdiction to try more than 50 new offences, with penalties ranging from spending up to 10 years in prison or paying a fine of up to 10 million rand. The Department of Justice and Correctional Development is currently inviting people to make comments on the Cybercrimes and Cybersecurity Bill before the 30th of November 2015. Some of the offences created by the bill include the use of personal or financial information to commit crimes such as hacking, extortion, and fraud. The bill that was published by government in September this year is seen as a necessity, as cyber-related offences cost the country an estimated 1 billion rand a year. But what are the flaws with the existing legislation that is currently in place?
What's wrong with the existing legislation is that it doesn't really account for some of the new aspects of the way the online economy and criminal activity in the online economy has evolved. So it deals with a number of online activities, it deals with financial activities that are conducted online, it deals with the use of technology to commit a variety of offences, it deals with subjects like hacking, like transferring and dealing in malware and malicious software. So it's vastly more extensive in terms of its reach and in terms of the kinds of activities it looks to criminalise.
With criminals constantly finding new ways to commit online offences, this kind of approach to SA's cybersecurity is clearly long overdue. But there has, however, been concerns that putting the new bill into action could have unwanted consequences for businesses.
Some of the more challenging aspects of the legislation, which are going to come under scrutiny in the coming months, are things such as some of the definitions are incredibly broad. So an electronic communication service provider is a party under this piece of legislation, under the bill, who is expected to take on a great deal of responsibility. Effectively, an electronic communication service provider, an ECSP, is a party which is responsible for the transmission of electronic communications. They are the licensed party who control the communications network. And that party is expected to do a number of things, including cooperate with law enforcement, maintain records and documentation for law enforcement, and interact with their customers and their clients in a very comprehensively and regulated fashion. They need to give them a certain degree of education in terms of how they conduct themselves when they conduct online activities, and they have to take certain positive steps in relation to online activities which could constitute cybercrime.
The bill threatens to provide some undesirable obligations on the banking, IT, communications and retail sectors. Businesses can be fined up to 10,000 rand for each day of non-compliance if the draft bill is passed. With recommendations on the draft bill drawing to a close soon, only time will tell just how the new law will affect businesses while trying to clamp down on cybercrimes.